Okay, so by now you have seen the interview on CBS. You've seen all the talk about this book. But I saw this interview on NPR. I thought it was fascinating because I kind of fell into this trope that why are we worried about book banning? Because banning books, no, kids won't care. They don't read books. But he has something profound to say, and it blew me away because it's something I never considered. Hold on, watch this.
Is there a reason why you think writing catches it more than even other
Yes.
forms of media? Because
Yes.
you would think with the internet and all these things, that would be much more
No.
dangerous than
Absolutely
the
not.
writing.
No, the writing is extremely dangerous, and the books in particular are very dangerous. In fact, I think the people who are in favor of book bans understand the power of books much, much better than those that oppose them. Books are intimate. It's a one-on-one connection. So that kid in South Carolina, that 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, is taking Between the World and Me, or whatever other book they're reading. They're taking it into their bedroom, and they're having a connection with them that nobody else can actually perceive. Even if you took the book from the kid and read it yourself, you would still not have the same interaction, because the way books work is they are necessarily a union between the imagination of the reader and the words that are on the page.
I thought that was fascinating because I never looked at it that way. Because he's absolutely correct. Yes, you can read that book. You and I can read the exact same book and come away with totally different perspectives or thoughts. And the author could hear those perspectives and thoughts and say, no, that's not what I meant, like, at all. But what we should be asking ourselves is, dangerous for whom, right? Because yes, a book could be filled with terroristic ideology, and that's dangerous for people to read. You could get something that's totally misleading and incorrect, factually, something like from Prager University. Those things are dangerous. But what's also dangerous is something like this book. This book can expose Zionism for what it truly is, and the people who don't want you to hear it are going to refer to it as dangerous. Or as CBS host referred to it, if you strip all the context from it, it's something you'd find in an extremist backpack. If you would strip the context from any book, it could be anything. I mean, that was the craziest question I'd ever heard in my life. But what really upsets those powers that be is the fact that just a few years ago, he had wrote an essay and even testified in Congress about the reasons why blacks should get reparations. And he goes on and writes about how the Jews got reparations and how it's made a world of difference and how great it is to see Israel thrive. He got blowback for that because people said, whoa, don't you see the connection here? Can't you see how what is going on now in Gaza is exactly or similar to what happened during the Holocaust? And he actually talks about that. Here, I want you to hear what he has to say about this.
Well, the fact was, probably my most celebrated work of journalism is the case for reparations. That essay has a section in which it talks about reparations from the state of Germany to the state of Israel as recompense for the survivors of the Holocaust, or those fleeing the Holocaust, in fact, fleeing Nazi Germany's existential violence to Israel. And I was roundly and sometimes loudly critiqued for using that as an example.
What was the criticism that you faced for that?
The criticism was that German reparations had been paid to build a project that necessarily was taking the land from other people and itself was perpetrating another atrocity. What I wanted to do was I wanted to see that firsthand myself. I wanted to read as much as I could about it within the time I had to get this book done. I wanted to spend as much time as I could out of the 3 chapters in the book. One of the reasons why that's as long as it is because it's the place that I spent the most time. It's the place I talked to the most people. I felt the responsibility to take that criticism as seriously as I could.
And see, that is why I said the powers that be are really upset over his journalism. Because CBS didn't once mention anything about his U-turn on the Israeli diaspora, if you will, right? So that's, in my opinion, that's exactly why so many people are so upset, because he thought it's a great idea. It sounds like a great idea. I want to know more. He went, he learned, he came back, said, not for me. This is an apartheid between the world and me. Okay, and this is a book that he wrote. It's in the form of a letter to his son, and there's really no chapters. It's just all one book. Sorry, I just lost my damn place. Hold on. I wanted to read just a little bit, because this part of the book is page 8 and page 9. Literally broke me. America believes itself exceptional. The greatest and noblest nation ever to exist. A lone champion standing between the white city of democracy and the terrorists, despots, barbarians, and other enemies of civilization. One cannot at once claim to be superhuman and then plead mortal error. I propose that, what, that's fucking hits home to Israel, doesn't it? I propose to take our countrymen's claim of American exceptionalism seriously, which is to say, I propose subjecting our country to an exceptional moral standard. This is difficult because there exists all around us an apparatus urging us to accept American innocence at face value and not to inquire too much. And it is so easy to look away, to live with the fruits of our history, and to ignore the great evil done in all of our names. But you and I have never truly had that luxury, and I think you know. Remember, he's talking to his son. I write you in your 15th year. I am writing you because this was the year you saw Eric Garner choked to death for selling cigarettes. Because you know now that Renisha McBride was shot for seeking help. That John Crawford was shot down for browsing in a department store. And you have seen men in uniform drive by and murder Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old child whom they were oath bound to protect. And you have seen men in the same uniforms pummel Marlene Pinnock, someone's grandmother, on the side of the road. And you know now, if you did not before, that the police department of your country have been endowed with the authority to destroy your body. It does not matter if the destruction is the result of an unfortunate overreaction. It does not matter if it originates in a misunderstanding. It does not matter if the destruction springs from a foolish policy. Sell cigarettes without the proper authority, and your body can be destroyed. Resent the people trying to entrap your body, and it can be destroyed. Turn into a dark stairwell, and your body can be destroyed. The destroyers will rarely be held accountable. Mostly they will receive pensions, and destruction is merely the superlative form of dominion whose prerogatives include frisking, detaining, beatings, and humiliation. All of this is common to black people, and all of this is old for black people. No one is held responsible. So after reading this short little passage in this book, The World, Between the World and Me, okay, is it no wonder he feels this way when it comes to Israel? How does that surprise you to find that when a man with this mentality goes to a place like that, he's not going to walk away with the same, I don't know, connections